Coming up on Verse, Chorus, Verse, Yell expands his horizons. Maybe. That's next. Hi, everybody. I'm DL. I hope you're doing well. I'm here by myself, just hanging out with you guys, talking music. That's what we want to do, right? Talk some albums. Let's talk some good albums. And there are some good albums we're going to talk about tonight. Well, what are we doing? We are doing the Rolling Stone Top 500 Albums of All Time list, going through it one by one. What do we agree with? What do we don't? We are also doing their 500 songs list. What do we agree with? What do we don't? I've explained a lot of times why I love doing this, so go back and listen elsewhere for it. I've got a few more of these that I'll do this year, and then I am also doing another project, which is why I'm not doing so many this year. What project may you ask? I am doing a Radiohead dissection. Yeah, I am talking about basically every album. I think every year, along with these, because I don't want to do just these. I love doing these, but need a little, spices the variety of life. Check that, swap it, whatever Willy Wonka said. I can't just do these. And I figured, hey, there are certain bands that I know Evil and Rachel really do not want to have to deal with, Radiohead being one of them. But on the other hand, bands like Radiohead, how are we not going to talk about them on a music podcast? And I love Radiohead, so I have to talk about them. So what better chance to do it than when I'm here just talking with you about certain bands that only we understand, right? So I'll be doing a full Radiohead dissection on my own, as well as these episodes. Those will be the solo episodes this year. Actually, this is going to be my listener question of the night. Let's make it a three-parter, okay? Number one, what is the best Radiohead album? Number two, what is your favorite Radiohead album? And number three, I am going to do a DL's 10 out of 10 for a Radiohead album. Which album should I do? That is the question. Which album should I make Rachel and Evil give a chance? Now, I am sure that Evil has listened to OK Computer. I'm sure he has. But what do? Do we throw him in the deep end? Give them like some King of Limbs, something like that? Do we want to give them a gateway drug? Do we want to just shove OK Computer in their face and say, hey, if you don't like this, I don't know what to do for you? Which one do we give them? That's my listener question. By the way, there is not a bad answer to this because there is no bad Radiohead album. I mentioned King of Limbs. King of Limbs haters need to go listen again. That album is fantastic. Moonshaped Pool is fantastic. It's a great album. Don't sleep on those. The old ones, yes, the old ones are amazing, but the new ones are too. Or maybe I just give them Kid A. I gave Kid A to Sven season 1, and that was a blast to talk about. I could talk about that album forever. Point being, there's going to be a lot of Radiohead this year, and I hope you're okay with it. I think you will be. But that's not what we're here for tonight. In fact, I would be interested to see where old Tom York and the gang will be on the 500 list. They've got to have a couple albums on here, right? I would think OK Computer and Kid A would be on here. Maybe the Bends? I don't know. I don't know if Rolling Stones would put them on there. I guess we'll find out, huh? But we got a long way to go. I hope we have a long way to go. I hope we're not looking at Radiohead at 450 or some shit like that. We are down to 480. We've done 20 albums. We've got 480 left to go. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to stop doing these. I love doing them. And the feedback, I don't get much feedback on these, but when I do, it's positive. So I'm not changing it until somebody forces me to. And even then, I probably won't. I'm having fun. These are fun ones for me. I would much rather do them with Evil and Rachel, but them's the breaks. I'm hearing from a lot of you again. That makes me really happy. I'm glad that now that we're back, I think the ship is officially righted, and we've kind of got this little bump going right now. A lot more people contacting us. Maybe that has to do with me saying at the beginning of the episodes instead of the ends. If you want to download our episodes, you can. It helps us, I think. If you want to go to our Instagram and follow us, you can ignore everything. Just follow us or do the likes. It's just pictures of albums with alcohol. What's not to like about that? Little things like that. If you want to go check out the YouTube, you can. We are going to, by this time, we do have video on, whether you want it or not. That's up to you. Boy, I'm really selling this, as I always do, but hey, something must be working a little bit. I don't have too much more to talk about, as you can tell by my sultry, sexy voice. I am very sick. I'm at the point now where I sound way worse than I actually feel pretty okay. And I would never take like Benadryl and also drink booze, so don't worry about that. But I guess we do that. I guess we talk about the most important part of the night. What are we drinking? The Rhone. It's fitting. Maybe I have the Rona. I don't. I've been on a bit of a Corona kick lately. I don't know why. I think I was in Vegas for a show recently and they didn't have any Japanese beer at the Japanese steakhouse. So I had a Corona, and I tell you what, Corona's hit, man. Corona's hit. You can knock it if you want, but a Corona with a lime, I'm never going to complain about it. That's what I'm drinking. As you know, I kind of get a little carried away in these, and then all of a sudden it struggles for me to keep it to under an hour. To an hour. I try to keep it to an hour. I get pretty close, usually. That's what she said. Should we talk about some albums and some songs? Good. Also, let me know what you think about the list so far. Let me know what I should have higher than the others, if you agree with the list, if you think, that I put one too low or whatever. I'd like to hear. I know a couple of these people would very much disagree, and one of the bands we're going to talk about tonight is right there. So let's take a break. Let's come back, and let's talk some Rolling Stone 500 albums. Let's talk about 4 of them in 4 songs. Bye-bye. We're back, everybody. We're back. It's been a fun... You know what I struggled... You guys are going to have to let me know some new albums that came out this first quarter. I struggled to make a list of 10. There are a couple exciting ones that are out, obviously. You've got Gorillaz coming out with something. You've got... I Am a Little Fuzzy-Headed, I'm not going to lie, because that's literally the only one that I can think of right now that we're doing. And honestly, I don't want to spoil it anyway. But, boy, sometimes we get those years, right, where they just start and you're kind of like, man, where's the really good new? I feel like all the best albums recently have been coming out at the beginning of the year. Anyway, that episode soon. I don't remember when, but we are doing the Q1 Quickfire. We're recording it in a week, so hopefully you like it. Until then, I've also just, my Spotify listening has gone way down. I listen to a little more podcasts now, but work's been so crazy. I'm just listening to a lot of records, and it's just making me happy. I guess we should talk about some of these, right? Some of these records. Let's talk about number 408 first. It is The Weight of These Wings by Miranda Lambert. So, 2016, of course, Nashville, Tennessee. 94 minutes long through RCA. This was produced by Frank Liddell and Glenn Wolfe. I mean, Nashville, Miranda Lambert. Here we go. This can be a long episode, guys. You can do it. I believe in you. This is her 6th album. It is so Nashville, and no spoilers, but you do see it on my right shoulder, so we'll get to that later. This is way too long. It is so absolutely country and Nashville country, even though Nashville country is awesome, and I'll give anything to hear a good steel guitar and a tight band, and there are no tighter bands than these guys. But man, it's so regurgitatable. It's so, you've heard every song from the last album of Nashville shit that you heard. And that is my big issue with this, is it's so, this is going to sound mean, but I think this is such easy shit to write. It really, really is. Now, the good with that, and by the way, this is not the only genre that does that. Many, many genres do that. So I'm not just shitting on country, particularly Nashville country. And bleeding into that, what I will say is that this is such an easy listen, probably because you've heard these sounds before. They produced it a million times before, so they know what they're doing. And I will say, for 2016, I went back and I looked at some of the stuff that was coming out, and I tell you what, this is way better than the stuff that was coming out. Now, I started this review kind of shitting on Nashville country. Probably not smart. I led the witness a little bit astray, I guess, the opposite of that. I'll think of an idiom for it someday. I really fucking dig this album. I was shocked at how much I enjoyed this album. Song 1 comes on, and it is just completely a whole different thing than you think's coming. It is not this, I'm gonna, burn your clothes because you cheated on me shit that every single female country star sings, and I'm sure she has too. This is an adult. This is somebody that's been through shit and wants to handle it like an adult. This is somebody that's going through real heartache and doesn't want to be immature about it. They want to learn from it. This is Orville Peckish. You listen to that first song, it's really, it's got that old school Nashville Elvis feel to it. And I really dig it. I read that the producers were going for this kind of country Susie and the Bandits kind of thing. Hey, I'm totally into it. I mean, it's about marriage and divorce, but this feels so much more relatable than a lot of, look, we have this thing, and Evil Rachel and I say it all the time on the podcast. And if it's a guy singing about guy things, we'll say, well, this album's just not for me. Rachel will say that. If it's this girl singing about divorce, well, yeah, of course you don't like it. It's not for you. I think that's bullshit. I do. I've been thinking about that a lot. And every time I say, it's one of those things, I used to say whatever a decent amount, and I used to say it is what it is a decent amount. I hate those. I hate the word whatever, and I hate the expression it is what it is so much. And my new expression that I hate is the one that Stupid Idiot Verse Chorus Verse does all the time, which is it's just not for me. I don't buy it because this isn't for me. This is Miranda Lambert singing about a harsh divorce on her, and I think it's great. I can relate to a lot of the lyrics, and it's cheesy, the crazy train kind of stuff, but it's good shit. It really is. And it might have to do with the fact that she is legit country. She grew up in like Longview, Texas or something like that. Yes. Yeah. Her parents were private detectives. How about that? Her parents' home was like a shelter as well for victims of abuse. So the shit she must have seen growing up, I think that's why this is so adulty. She's seen some shit. And I'm not talking about like a bad breakup or the harshness of the road or the other bullshit that all these famous people are singing about. I think she's honing in on the realness. And because of that, I think this is to me what Nashville country should be. And that's why I was negative at first. I wanted to get out of the way because I wanted to prelude the fact that I think this is a great album. She's not like vocally, it's nothing crazy, but she's not going for it. And she's not going for it because it's not about her. It's about the songs. And that makes me like it more. This is great. There's this casualness that you don't usually get from female country. It's not any fault of their own. They just have to try really hard. And she just sounds like I'm from fucking Texas. I'm going to sing these songs. They're good. Whatever. Yeah, I'm all in on this. Really, really good stuff. Should we get to awards and then also categories? These 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. I think someone with my musical taste isn't supposed to like this. And that is something that it's funny. We go through waves on the podcast. I'm giving you we go through waves of, I'm sure you notice it. I'm sure you go through the same thing where there's a year where you're like, no, this is my style. And I don't understand that style. And I don't like that style. I don't want to hear it. So all of a sudden, everything's kind of like, hey, I kind of get this. I'm kind of into it. I'm really into one of those now. And I'm hoping that it keeps going. I'm hoping that everything somebody sends me. I'm also getting sent some more music. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that, like from indie artists. I'm starting to get music again from you guys. I don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm not. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate it now into the podcast besides just playing it on it. I haven't found that really did you guys any good. I want something more than that. I'm trying to think of maybe like an episode a year where I highlight some indies, something like that. It's also the way that I'm doing the way that I'm doing the editing now is a lot different because I'm not plugging in as many songs and stuff like that because I realized that I don't have that much time to edit anymore. It drives me insane. Anyway, point being that I have not forgotten about you all. I do listen to your music. I do like it. I just bought a couple indies the other day, Bandcamp. I will buy your vinyl on Bandcamp and I will listen to it. I really will. I really do. That was a big tangent. Sorry about that. What's love got to do with it? I guess it's a little more the opposite. I came into this thinking she's a cute little blonde from Nashville. We've never had one of those before. Came into this expecting to hate it. I didn't. So I'm wondering if the way that I came into this kind of set it up to succeed a little bit, but I don't want to take anything away from it. It's not that it deserves for me to like it. It's the douchiest thing I've ever said. The DMX award, it's different for its time. I don't think a lot of country was doing this. I think, sorry, female country fans, this sounded a lot more genuine than like the Chicks and stuff like that. The beep Chicks, I thought it just seems really genuine. It just seems like a girl that would be fine playing in a Texas bar. Now, I don't know the story of fucking hell. Of Miranda Lambert. I don't know what she went on to. I always get her mixed up with the chick. Is she the chick? Is she the chick that does the Monday Night Football song? Is that another one? This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not wrong. It's kind of like Fox News reporters. It's like, how many fucking little blonde girls are you gonna, not that there's anything. David, edit that out. I'm not gonna remember to edit that out. Mark Lanigan, true rock star award. She's not a rock star. She's country. So I don't want to say the award doesn't apply. I would be interested, and I didn't have time to go into the rest of her catalog and see how true to her genre she stayed. If she started branching out, if she started doing the Taylor Swift shit, I have to be pop to sell millions sort of thing. I'd be interested to hear. I'm kind of hoping she stuck like this. But hey, do your thing. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. It did really well in the time. Country albums in America just do really well. They always will. I'm going to say it's underrated. This is not a country album that I've ever really heard about. So yeah, influences and influences. I'm not anything Nashville. I could name them all off. Yeah, there's Dolly Parton and like it's all fucking duh. Never mind the Bullocks Award. I have no idea. I haven't listened to any of her other stuff. I'm kind of scared too because of how much I like this. No, seriously. Song 1, Runnin' Just in Case. I bet it will scare not the traditional country people. I bet it scared the country people of the times. That song is not anything that was coming out at the time. Like I said, it's very Orville Peckish, which is just such a refreshing take on such an old school, genuine type of music. The John Popper Award for Best Hook, Getaway Drive, has this super typical slow Nashville chorus that hits hard. Go listen to that. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, the only thing I know how to find is another vice. That's a great line. Also, a lot of dumb country stuff in here. But man, the only thing I know how to find is another vice. That's fucking great. The Eddie Van Halen Award, Covered Wagon, and some others have this really good Nashville guitar, whether it's steel or just straight up acoustic. There's really, really good stuff. Getaway Driver, that same one, it's beautiful. And it's beautiful because of the guitar. Really, really. I think there's even like a fiddle. I guess it's Nashville. I guess I call it a fiddle. The Surfer Rosa Award. So here's the thing. This album is long as shit. But I do kind of get why it had to. Why. I kind of get why. Okay. The first album is a lot of complex but traditional sort of stuff. A lot of kind of maybe sounds like a lot of other hands were in the jar with her, helping her out. And then album 2, which, yeah, it's basically a double album, is just a lot more her. I think the writing is more from her. I think it's like a first album is a team thing and the second album is from her thing. The Time of Your Life Award, I'm sure that there are some people that really dig this. I'm not really one of them. The Pink Sunglasses song, I get it. It's kind of that Maren Morris sort of influence sort of stuff. I think it's kind of funny. But the 3 best songs on the album, Use My Heart. I'm kind of becoming a sucker for that well-produced, slow Nashville stuff. Getaway Driver, like I said, great chorus, really, really beautiful. But the best song on this album is number 1, Runnin' Just in Case. It sets you up to know that, hey, this is not a typical of the times, this is good shit. This is different. I'm really, really doing it. Does it belong on the top 500 list and do I own it? Well, I bought it. I found it in the record store. It was $19. Hell yeah. My family was ecstatic. They really like the easy listening stuff. Now, my daughter will get into, like, if I put on something heavy, if I put on some Gojira or stuff like this, she'll be into it. But she really likes the country too. Hey. It is what it is, whatever. And what do I rate this album? I'm giving this album an 8.7 out of 10. It's really well written, it's really well produced, and it's really well performed. Really good job, Miranda Lambert. I was really, really pleasantly surprised with this. I really should really say really a little. Should go to our next album. All right, let's rock out right with number 479. It is Amor Prohibido by Selena, 1994. This came out through Amen Studios in San Antone. It is 35 minutes long, nice and slow. It's a little Spanish in there. It's her fourth studio album. I didn't really learn many ins and outs of Tejano music until a few years back. I don't know much. It is so cool. Tejano music is so fucking cool. It's songs about like violence and shitty relationships and drugs and drug cartels and all this stuff. But in this like super major polka, it's, you know, everybody's dancing and they singing about the fucking cartel selling drugs and trying to smuggle them into the U.S. and shooting people and stuff like that. We verse, chorus, verse, we like the dark lyrics to the, you know, we like the tricking you into listening to it stuff. We like the Black Sabbath play it backwards and it's the devil or whatever. This isn't just, I don't know, it's cool. I like it, just I like the Hispanic, German, Czech weird mixture that happened there because of history. Los Dinos, her band, they are the unsung hero of this album. Selena. I already talked about this in one of the albums that we covered. Rufus with Shaka Khan. It drives me nuts when when an artist, it doesn't drive me nuts. It's fine. I get it. And I'm definitely not trying to piss Selena fans off. No way. I just wish the band was talked about more. I wish it wasn't just Selena because this band is so freaking amazing. It is the 90s, which means it's this very over-digitized Tejano music, and I don't like that. I like the really, really traditional stuff. But about this time, everything sounded like, a lot of the stuff sounded like kind of bad elevator music sometimes. So I'm sure all of you know the story. I think everybody listens to this is old enough. Selena was murdered the year after this was made. She wasn't a household name yet, but this definitely, her murder and this album really made her, like, she was massive in Mexico. I mean, when I say massive, I mean like, holy shit, so massive. And then her shitty chick, you know, the girl that was trying to steal all her money, when she finally got caught, the chick shot her. Just crazy, bad shit. The vocal performances on this are absolutely amazing. The band is incredible. I'm not going to pump this on. If I'm going to listen to, I'm not going to listen to Selena. Really talented, really cool. Not going to bug me if it's playing wherever I'm hanging out. I just don't have that much to say on Tejano albums. The genre sounds very similar to me. It's a very good album. Let's go to awards and categories. The 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. I'm a basic American Northwest bitch. I'm not that into this. Selena was like she became like an immortal with how big she got. And I just don't like it's the really over-digitized 90s stuff. It's the Amy Grant and it's like the stuff that you'd hear on a Saved by the Bell soundtrack. It's really hard for me to listen to. The What's Love Got to Do with It award. I think this style of music is cool from afar for me. It's one of those style of musics that is really awesome that I just don't get. Like, super, super respect it. Don't really get it, and that's okay. The DMX award. I mean, I'm sure you all remember how freaking huge she got after she was murdered and her story came out. And they made a movie about it too that did really well. So I don't know. This does still feel kind of Americanized to me. So I don't know. Maybe just this style of music getting that big at that time would be it. The Mark Lanigan True Rock Star Award, I just talked about it. She was massive. Underrated, overrated, properly rated. I'll say properly. She was massive. Did I say that? And I think nowadays you can be like, hey, you remember Selena? And people will say, yeah, that's crazy. Influences and influencees. Well, there's a cover of The Pretenders on here, and it got really, really big. So I will say The Pretenders, Chavela Vargas. Never mind the Bullocks Award. I can't answer it. The No, dude, seriously award. Go with Amor Prohibido. Listen to the title track. It's really fucking good. If you like that, you're going to like the whole album. The John Popper Award for Best Hook. Go listen to Desprecio. Go listen to that. It's an amazing hook. The John Prine Best Lyric Award. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did. I wish that I wasn't a lazy American. The Eddie Van Halen Award. You Shook Me's guitar. It's old and new and it's perfect. It's freaking amazing. The Surfer Rosa Award. I think this album slogs big time. About halfway through, it starts getting very similar, slowing down. Feels like that early 90s, in the 90s at this time, people weren't trying to, I shouldn't say it like that. There weren't a lot of albums that were good front to back. I think that a lot of people, music was so popular at the time and they were trying to pump it out. There's like, dude, just get your really, really good 4 tracks on there, shove them in the beginning. Those are your radio hits. There you go. The Time of Your Life Award, Amor Prohibido, I just don't think it's right. It sets a fake tone at the very beginning for this album. It's not what the rest of the album is. But my three best songs, Techno Cumbia, it really dives into the fake music of the times, but for some reason this one hits, and I like it. El Chico del Apartamento 512. I think even I know what that means. And then Fotos Irucerdos. Cuerdos? It's a cover, but it fucking slaps. Does it belong on the top 500? Yes. Do I own it? No, I won't own it. But this is a solid 7 out of 10 for me. It's great. The story's great. She helped represent a nation, and she helped bring in a culture into the United States that I think it was important for the time for more people in other regions to understand. So yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10. Alrighty, guys. Number 478, Something Else by the Kinks. 1967, recorded in Pi, 36 minutes long, and produced by Shell Tell Me. Shell had worked with them a lot. It's like Kinks stuff, and the old scary Kinks stuff. The Kinks stuff where they were like, oh, good, I'm glad the Beatles are so popular. Oh, right, the Rolling Stones are edgy. Well, listen to the fucking this. That's how I've always seen the Kinks. Even though we'll talk about what happened with them. This album had terrible sales, and it ended up being one of those, in retrospect, we really like this album. I kind of wonder if no. I know at the time, one of the problems with this album, that as far as it selling, was that they were competing with themselves. This is 67. All their older stuff was still coming out like singles and stuff like that. This was just kind of drowned out. This also came out right after a certain Beatles album. Therein lies the problem. And I'm not saying that the Kinks were ripping off the Beatles. I don't think that they were. But man, it's really, really, golly, it's a Beatles album in a lot of ways. The Soldier Man, I'll just listen to Maxwell Silverhammer. That I'm not going to go into it like that, but that's how I feel about it, which is hard because I really, really like the Kinks. Like I said, I think they were the real rock stars of the time. They were the ones that really, and well, that kind of, it kind of figures because Davies was a dick. He was a dick. He and Lennon, they were dicks. They were dicks to each other. There are songs like Two Sisters that hit this super, like the cool thing about the Kinks is they stayed super British. Like they were, they kept it really traditional in a way. Oh my God. They kept it really traditional and never really left their British roots. I think that's a good thing, but they're still, like I said, Tin Soldier Man, Lazy Old Sun, Strawberry Fields. I think it would have been cool to see if they would have kept up being, it's just the Beatles fan in me. I just feel like people were chasing the Beatles and they shouldn't have. They should have just kept doing their own thing. It happened to the Beach Boys. It happened to the Kinks. And I think some of you probably disagree, but it's not like there's still great stuff on there. I just like their old stuff better. Love Me Till the Sun Shines. God damn, that's such a good song. We'll do awards and categories. I will talk more about the Kinks when we talk about other albums, which I do like one of their later albums, and I love their earlier stuff. The 70 Million Jackson fans can't be wrong. I mean, nobody really talks about this album. Old school people do. Music obsessors do. A lot of people really like Something Else by the Kinks. This is a great album. It's not, if you don't compare it to anything, if you don't say, whoa, which one came first, that sort of stuff, which you shouldn't. It's just a good fucking album, man. What's Love got to do with it? I think it depends on who you ask. Kinks are really underrated. Kinks aren't talked about enough. The early stuff the Kinks did opened up so many doors for rock. And I don't think these albums later on really did, but I think they went from pioneers to not pioneers, and that's okay. I shouldn't hold anything against them for that. The DMX Award, I already talked about it. They were more rock stars. Same thing with the Mark Lanigan Award. They were more rock stars than anybody else was at the time. They were really the FU people of the time. Overrated, underrated, properly rated. Well, it did not sell anything. So underrated, I will say. And then currently underrated. I never hear people talk about this album. But I'm sure if you go to Reddit and ask about the Kinks, I'm sure a lot of people talk about how amazing this album is. Influences, it's all the same stuff. For this album specifically, I'll say the Beatles. Never mind the Bullocks Award. I've listened to a lot of their stuff. I think this is good, not great. I think this is, I guess it's probably their third best album for me, maybe fourth. No, dude, seriously, award. One song to show. I'm going to give it to Two Sisters. That That sounds so fucking British. And that to me is the Kinks of this time in a good way. The John Popper Award for Best Hook. David Watts. It sticks in your head for better or for worse. The John Prine Best Lyric Award. I'm spoiling things right now, but Death of a Clown. The whole song Death of a Clown, I think is really, really good. As far as the lyrics. Eddie Van Halen Award. I love the Love Me Till the Sun Shines guitar. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Surfer Rosa Award. I think it's really, really well spaced. I love that it's 13 songs, 35 minutes. I think that's great. Time of Your Life Award. That David Watts thing drives me nuts. I know it's the first track. That's crazy, but it does drive me nuts. But my 3 best songs on the album, I really love the last track, Waterloo Sunset. It feels super Kinks. I love the nostalgia of it. And I love, number 2 would be Afternoon Tea. Afternoon Tea is great. I like those 70s style England rock. But the best song on this to me by far is Death of a Clown. Death of a Clown is just, listen to that song. It's really, really really, really great. All right. So that's 3 albums. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to talk about a 4th. We'll be right back. We're back. Should we talk about album number 477, Moanin' in the Moonlight by Howlin Wolf? Howlin Wolf out of Mississippi. Then, of course, Chi-Town, Delta Blues. Hey, you know what? I'm not going all into this. You know why? Because I already talked about it on the pod. If you go check out Verse, Chorus, Verse, check out our past episodes. There is one where we talk about Muddy Waters and Howlin Wolf, and it's awesome. We're really good at it. This is basically, so Moanin' in the Moonlight is basically his recordings from 1951 and 73. So here's my question. No, it's just one. My question to you. Should these ones count? Should these ones be penalized at all? Because it's essentially a greatest hits, but it's not though. It's not a greatest hits. It's pretty much like all his recordings, but it's not an album. This is 500 greatest albums. When I think of album, I think of a band that goes into the studio, but that didn't exist at that point. It's not their fault. So that's my question. I already had a question. Sorry, but here's my other question. Should albums like this, is it fair for these to be a 10 out of 10? I'm starting to lean towards yes. Because what the hell else were they supposed to do? They didn't know this album thing existed. They didn't know what a supposed to be 12 track sort of thing. That wasn't a thing back then. So the first one was 59, Moanin' in the Moonlight. It was Chess Records. Sorry, first recording 59 through Chess Records, Leonard and Phil, the Chess brothers, who anything Delta Blues you hear, they were the ones that were like, wait, we got to get this on fucking record and sell it because it's amazing. Them white boys did it right. I love Howlin Wolf. He is my favorite Delta Blues singer and guitar player. I'm not going to go into any more on this album. You're going to have to go listen to the episode. Just know that I really, really love Howlin Wolf. These 70 million Jackson fans can't be wrong. I think he's kind of forgotten. Everybody talks about Muddy Waters. Not many people talk about Howlin Wolf. This album should be talked about a lot, and it isn't. And I am carrying that torch. What's love got to do with it? I kind of just said it. I've always leaned toward Howlin Wolf a bit over the other Delta Blues singers. There's something about him. I mean, Muddy Waters is perfection, right? But Delta Blues was about this desperation, this need to quench pain with blues and booze and sex and drugs. And you really hear it in Howlin Wolf's in his voice and his music. You hear it. You really hear that desperation. So I would say more. Yeah. The DMX Award, what makes him unique? Genre starters are the DMXs. Genre starters are the unique. You know, this guy was doing stuff with his music in guitar and harmonica that was trailblazing. The Mark Lanigan True Rockstar Award. These Delta Blues guys were fucking rock stars, man. They lived the life. A hard life. Overrated, underrated, properly rated at the time. These guys did really well. I think currently maybe under, maybe. I don't know. The good thing about the one good thing about the internet now is it's really easy to find, more people know now about Howlin Wolf and Muddy Waters than they did in the 90s and things like that, because it's really easy to just Google. I'm going to Google Delta Blues. Look. Okay. So I'm going to say, I don't know. I should just say underrated. People should talk about Howlin' Wolf every day. Influences and influencees, it's all the same ones for all of them. Sonny Boy Williams. Sonny Boy Williams was a fucking harmonica master. And Howlin' Wolf brought a lot of that into his music. And then Charlie Patton. Charlie Patton is the guy. Never mind the Bullocks Award. It's not applicable, man. It's not applicable. The No, dude, seriously award. Look, it's the easy one for a reason, but if you're telling anybody to check a song out, you're telling them to check out Smokestack Lightning. Everybody should hear that song once at least before they die. John Popper Award for Best Hook. Smokestack Lightning. Smokestack Lightning is this song about loneliness and longingness, and it's about having to travel by hiding in a train and just this brutal lifestyle that these blues singers were living before they could actually start making money on it. And even then they weren't making very much money. So the metaphors that are in that song, not to mention him just singing that Smokestack Lightning, I mean, it's just unbelievable. John Prine Best Lyric Award. I asked her for water and she brought me gasoline. Eddie Van Halen Award. The guitar in Baby How Long is so advanced for this. Hubert Sumlin was the guitarist on it. What a freaking beast. Go listen to it. It's amazing. A Surfer Rosa Award. There's no, this is Delta Blues through and through, song one, song end. You're not getting anything different. There's no build release. It's just blues hitting you in the face. Time of Your Life Award. There is no worse song on this album. These songs are all perfect. I'll prove that with my 3 favorite songs. My number 3 is Evil. It's blues. It's just low, smooth, angry blues. 44. That's this really, really dynamic kind of, it brings almost a doo-wop thing, which is pretty freaking rad. And then I'll go Smokestack Lightning because it's Smokestack Lightning. That's just off the cuff, by the way. Those 3 songs are amazing. But here I'm looking at Somebody in My Home, Moanin' at Midnight. Like, take your pick, man. Just make sure I don't even listen to all of it. You got to listen to all of it. Does it belong on the 500 list? Absolutely. Do I own it? Absolutely. It's one of my favorite covers. But here's my question for Rolling Stone, though. How the fuck do you put albums like this on here and then put them at 487? That doesn't make sense to me. If you're saying, okay, this album should be on the list, even though it's not like a traditional album in the sense by the time albums were a thing, it's just records from recording back in the day. If you're saying it needs to be on it, then put it on it. But how would Howlin' Wolf be 487? If it's on the list, it's got to be higher than that. So no way. And I am giving it a 10 out of 10. Hey, I'm not getting any younger. I want to hand out the roses when I can. This is a perfect album. This is honestly like, and I own Muddy Waters. I love Muddy Waters, but if you're not into Delta Blues, but you just want like one Delta Blues album, just get it. Just get that. So those are the 4 albums this time. I won't read off the whole list. I will say that Amor Prohibido is down pretty far, right above Here, My Dear, right below Suicide. Something Else by the Kinks is only a couple higher, right under If You're Feeling Sinister by Belle and Sebastian. The Weight of These Wings makes it into the top 10, above Heart Like a Wheel, and below Nick of Time. And Moanin' in the Moonlight, I am putting so far to my number 2. I am an album traditionalist that is of my generation. So I'm going to gravitate towards the albums that were made to be albums. And my number 1 is still Funeral by Arcade Fire. It's a 10 out of 10 amazing album. And not that Moanin' in the Moonlight isn't. Should we do some songs now? Should we do number 480, Just a Friend by Biz Markie? Did you know he was on SpongeBob SquarePants? Clown Prince of Hip Hop died just a couple years ago. Baby You, Got What I Need. So this came out in 89. It's very, this is of the time of the Run DMCs and the young MC. It's very, very of the time, but it does that time so perfectly. I love music that flies in the face of what's appropriate for the genre. And I love at this time in the late 80s, there was this goofiness in hip hop that was welcomed. But this guy just let it loose. This guy didn't care at all. I don't know. So Biz was classified as a one-hit wonder. He absolutely wasn't. He had a lot of great shit. This is the only song people really know. But when I say no, I mean, like if somebody puts this song on the bar, is there one person that isn't going to be, oh, baby? Everybody is, Long Island. Look, I turned this on at 6 a.m. the other morning. My kids are dancing. That's this song, like, sometimes a song just needs to be something that you can have fun with, right? And it doesn't get any better than that for this song. Biz Markie was a beast. This song is amazing. I love the scene in Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they decide to go on unemployment and they're just getting drunk in front of their house singing this. God, it's so good. What's Love Got to Do with It? How could you not love Biz Markie? How could you not love the guys singing this song? Brain Pleaser is the chorus. Tell me which one of you doesn't like this chorus. Come on, man. I think it's properly rated then and now. I don't think, Biz Markie never got huge. He did okay. This song kind of fades in and out of the zeitgeist. I think it's proper. The Royals Award, it is his best song. That's not a knock. If you're an artist that has like a trademark song that somebody says Biz Markie and everybody can start singing that song, I mean, that's amazing. Rickroll, is this song overplayed? It definitely was. It's not anymore. I could listen to it. I could hear this song a lot more. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, it's just the chorus. I mean, it's very, very 80s hip hop, I went into the party and the girl said, hey, and then, it's super 80s hip hop, but that chorus isn't. That nobody was doing choruses like that. Nobody was just like, hey, I'm going to try to sing this. I'm going to like kind of half scream it. I have a terrible voice. I don't give a fuck. The John Prine Best Lyric Award, I already answered that. I just answered that. The album Setup. This is song number 5 in the album this came on. I don't care. Is this the best song on the album? Yes. And I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. It's a little too long. It's like one verse too long. Shorten it up a little bit. That's okay. I mean, how long is it? It's long. Oh, no, it's not that bad. It's 4 minutes. I think it needs to be 3:30, 3:15, something like that. That's Biz Markie. Baby, you got what I need. But I mean, it's just, young MC, Biz Markie, Bust a Move, Tone Loc. God, that's great shit. I need to listen to that stuff more. That's so good. Let's go on to our next one. Number 479, Oi Oi Como Va, by Santana. Came out in 1971. Fred Catero and Carlos Santana did this. It was written by Tito Puente. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. I'm never going to I don't want to say that. It's not that I'm never going to like. I will always lean toward the original on a list like this. Like Tite Puento's Oil Como Va would be higher up on the list for me than this. And Blasphemy, I know, I'm sure there's a lot of big Santana fans that listen to this, and I'm probably going to piss you off with the take on this song. First off, this song's fucking rad. This song's so cool. Santana Matchbox 20 reference. I didn't do that on purpose. What I love about this is Tito Puente was fucking pissed that he did this song, and then he ended up paying him for it. He paid him royalties or gave him a percentage and stuff, and then he suddenly says, everybody's from Santana. Santana's beautiful, beautiful Santana. He put our music, Latin rock, around the world, and I'd like to thank him publicly because he recorded a tune and he gave me credit as the composer. So since that day, all we play is Santana music. Yeah, Tito hated it until Santana was like, you're right, I'll put you on there. You get a percentage. And then Tito was like, what a guy. This is a great song. It is. I am not a Santana guy. I'm gonna touch on that in the awards and categories. What's Love Got to Do with It? I think it's even. Really like this. I like 70s Santana a lot. The band was awesome, and the blend that's in this song is great. The Brain Pleaser Award. Samba is just so easy to like. It really is, and I love songs that have, kind of that Buena Vista Social Club, like one line in the chorus, and then you just let the instruments go wild. I love that sort of stuff. Underrated, overrated, properly rated. I'm going to say properly for everything. The Royals Award. Definitely not Santana's. Santana had some really cool B-side stuff, so maybe go check that out. Rickroll is the song overplayed. It was way overplayed in high school. I hung out with, it was the hippies, the stoners, and the soccer players. Listened to a shit ton of Santana, and I hung out with him too. I like to hang out with everybody. So, but one of the houses I hung out in all the time always played Santana, Janis, Jimmy, all that sort of stuff. Woodstock lineup, we'll say. John Prine Best Lyric Award. I really like that line, Oyo Como Va. The album Setup, it's right after Black Magic Woman, number 3. I think that's perfect. Is it the best song on the album? I don't think it's even the best song on the album. And I really am not a huge Santana guitar fan. I'm not. He's always sounded to me like a guitarist, an intermediate guitarist that's learning how to solo. That's always how he sounded to me. And I know that's dumb, and I know I know what you're gonna say. I just don't understand the technicalities of it. That's how I feel. I've never been very impressed with Santana. A lot of his solos sound the same, and it just sounds like somebody that's kind of figuring it out. I'm gonna stop digging my hole. It's a 7 out of 10. Comes on at a party, sounds good in the background of a Tarantino film, something like that. That's about all I got. Should we go to number 4, 78? Back That Ass Up with the Z's by Juvenile. 1999 came out by Cash Money, and Dwayne Carter wrote the song with him, along with Terry S. Gray and Byron Thomas. This whole album, this Juvenile album, has a massive reputation, and it's on a lot of the best hip hop albums of all time lists, because it really did bring that bounce hip hop to the club scene. Which, like, when I was in the military from 2000 to 2005. So a lot of the clubs that we went to would play this sort of stuff, and it was all because of this song. I also had a couple friends. I had a friend that was from New Orleans. I had a friend that grew up in Holly Grove, like where Lil Wayne grew up. So all he played was this sort of stuff. All he played was like Lil Wayne or this kind of stuff. It has a reputation, but it's good at what it does. But it's a club song. I mean, I don't know. I will never choose to put this on. No, I won't. There's no substance to it. Maybe that's kind of the point, right? What's Love Got to Do with It? I don't care. That, to me, there is no brain pleaser in here. Properly rated. It was huge. It was so huge. The Royals Award, I'm sure that I don't think this is his best song. I haven't heard all of his songs, but I'm sure that this is not it. Rickroll song, was this overplayed? Good God, this was so fucking overplayed. A John Prine best lyric. I think for songs like this, I'm just going to have to try to read something as white as I possibly can. I'm a big timer playa. Yeah. Gun sprayer. Yeah. A playa hater flipper. Yeah. Great filla. Yeah. Have to be real careful not to have a certain word in there too. The album setup. This is track 13 of 18. This was in the days where, for fuck's sake, hip hop albums were so long. For no reason. It was ridiculous. It's not the best song on the album. There's a couple songs on here that are good, and it's a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 for me. Look, it's going to get you to where you want to go. If you were in your 20s when this was in the club, you got some girls dancing on you because of it. So good job, Juvenile. Shall we finish this off with number 477? Our Lips Are Sealed by the Go-Gos. So I've already kind of shat on Santana. I kind of shat on Juvenile. I wasn't great with the Kinks, and I'm probably gonna piss people off more with this take, because I'm not a huge go-go guy. This is the poppiest of pop songs. It's like you wouldn't think that anything could be more poppy than like the Cars, but man, we haven't really talked about the Go-Gos. I really did. I liked a lot of the stuff that came out of this era. It's well written. The bass is awesome in it. It does a lot of that typical early 80s kind of like ding, ding, ding in the background. Kind of the light, that light kind of Fender twang that somehow sounds more digital than digital. God, what were they doing in the 80s? Some of it ended up working out sounding great. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's just some others that I'd rather have than this. And this song is just, I love pop music. I love it. Our Lips Are Sealed is too pop. It's too pop. What's Love Got to Do with It award? I'd say less. Out of all those bands that kind of did this poppy 80s stuff, the Go-Gos was the one that I just never really, I don't know, just never really got into it. I kind of think, like the Brain Pleaser, I think the song's pretty boring. I do think it's properly rated. I think the Go-Gos are great. I loved how big they got. They're really fun. I don't really think the vocals on this are great. I don't know, man. It's not their best song, right? I don't know. I guess maybe Manic Monday. Does Heaven Is a Place on Earth by Belinda Carlisle count? What about the Bangles? Manic Monday. Skip all this. Skip this. Best song on this album? Probably not. Like, We Got the Beats on it. What else is on this? This is Beauty and the Beat, right? Yeah, Beauty and the Beat. I would say We Got the Beat. We Got the Beat is cool. We Got the Beat's got this kind of Elvis Costello-y thing going on. I mean, put that on there instead of this. I don't know. I do like broke with expensive taste as a line. That's a really cool line. I'm broke with expensive taste. But this is a 6 out of 10 for me. They're. As far as 80s pop goes, there is some, just like any genre. I love pop, but not every pop song is going to speak to you. And that doesn't for me. So we're done. And I got to say, these four, like, back that as up and our lips are sealed. I'm putting it way down towards the bottom, right below Poncho and Lefty and above Truth Hurts. Oil Como Va is a little bit higher, right below Cranes in the Sky. Just a Friend almost cuts it to the top 5. It is number 6 for me, just under Can't Help Myself, but above Baby Love. So none of these songs even made it 5 more than the 20 I already talked about. What am I wrong about? What am I right about? Which albums do you like more? What about the Kinks? Was I not understanding as far as that album? Which, again, love the Kinks. I kind of liked everything around that album. I'm surprised that was one. Maybe there's a couple more further down the line. That's it. That's all I got for you, people. I really hope you're doing well. I love you. Join us next week. I have no idea what we're doing. I could look it up. I'm not going to. I don't feel good. I want to go take a Benadryl and stop drinking. I promise. I'm not just saying that. Let's be responsible, right? Come on. I'm going to be fine, you guys. Not my first rodeo. My aunt always said, all you need for any sickness is a couple Advil and a glass of whiskey. Who am I to argue? We love you. Good night and good luck.